Test 1, 2, 3. N4LQ.
N4LQ, WF2U.
A4QE.
WA4EVK.
Okay, man, you guys are on the ball tonight. This is the Old Friends Net on the Lower Slop Bucket. I'm just trying to get all the video stuff set up here so I could record this, and it's not easy. I've got a lot of things running at once here. So I've got WF2U sounding good tonight, K4QE, WA4EVK, Boone. Anybody else? I heard a Wiki there. Who's that weak station? Yeah, Whiskey 1 something there. Anybody copy in?
I believe it was a Whiskey 1, Lima Bravo Yankee.
Yeah, that's correct.
Whiskey 1 Lima Bravo Yankee. Okie dokie. We'll have to look you up here on QRZ because I'm using a ICOM 7610 tonight. It's not my usual SDR. And for technical reasons, I can't turn the volume up too awfully loud right now. So kind of handicapped. Meanwhile, let me, hang on a second here. Let me find you W1LBY. And here you go. So you're in Florida. You're not supposed to be in Florida. You're supposed to be on the East Coast somewhere. Well, looks like you got some boat anchor pictures there, some fine vintage equipment. Sorry we're not able to accommodate you tonight with boat anchors. We're on sideband, mostly due to lack of high-powered stations and big antennas and terrible band conditions, and all that combined just made it a bit rough. So if you'll hang in there with us, we'll bring you back here right after Boone, WA4EVK. So let's take a quick listen and see if anybody else is here. Call N4LQ. Okay, Mir. Sounding good tonight. What's going on? You must be on the ICOM again. WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, the N4LQ and the group. This is WF2U. Good evening to everybody, and welcome W1LBY. You're a little bit on the weak side, but 100% copyable. And don't have an S-meter on this radio, and so I'll give just an approximate kind of reading by ear. Steve, you must be at least 10 dB over 9, if not more. Considering what I usually read on the ICOM 7300, and Boone was also like at over 9 somewhere, and who else is here? All of a sudden I did write it down. Anyway, I'm not using that ICOM marine radio. I'm using the Kenwood marine radio this time. Same power output. Basically, very similar. Very similar functions, and 150 watts out. The speaker, the built-in speaker sounds pretty good on this one too. So, let's see, so it's 150 watts out, and the model is the Kenwood TKM707, Tango Kilo Mike 707. That's the model of the transceiver, and the antenna is the usual end-fed halfway for 160. So let's see, it goes to Boone, I guess. Definitely 4 EVK, unless I missed somebody else. This is WFU.
All right, it goes to Tony, K4QE. Go ahead, Tony.
All right, thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. Steve, Mir, Boone, and Wilby. Wilby, glad to have you with us tonight. Hope you'll continue to join us. And everyone's sounding okay here. Steve, of course, you're the strongest given how close you are. So anyway, everybody's sounding great. And damn, I'm glad all that noise is gone. And of course, I can hear everybody a lot better on sideband. So I think it was a great idea to switch over, despite our love for AM. So anyway, over to you, Boone, WA4EVK from K4QE.
K4QE in the group, WA4EVK. Well, thank you, Tony. I wasn't being able to copy many people on AM, that's for sure. I don't have an AM amp now. I can drag out the boat anchor linear and see if I can get it going. That ought to qualify Steve as boat anchors. That old amp supply 160 amp I've got. We'll try it out. And with that, I'm going to send it on down to W1LBY. Was having a little trouble copying, but I'll work at it. Go ahead and take it. W1LBY, WA4EVK. Yeah, okay. I just put up a conversion today. I've been on 160 years about 8 years ago, so I'm just happy to be on land and have somebody hear me anyway. Over.
Yeah, okay. And you say you're running AM, is that correct? All right. What are you running there? What's the rig and the antenna?
Yeah, I'm on 56 Pro. And I just hung up an inverted beat today over.
All right, 756 Pro. Yeah, I got my volume turned up here so I can hear you. Wilby, all right. Wilby, good to hear you. Thanks for checking in with us, and hang in there. If are you going to hang around, or are you going to check out, or what? I think you said you're going to hang around. Oh, that's good. You're a little bit off frequency for some reason. I've got to use my RIT, and I'm showing about 700 or 800 cycles too high. So I don't know how that happened, but we should be exactly on 1864. And well, like I said, I'm running the. Let me get this. I got too many things going on here. I'm running the IC7610 and driving the RF2K amp to about let's see, 1300 watts right now, and the antenna's an end-fed half wave. That's up 100 feet at the high point. And yeah, we usually run boat anchors on 75 meters, and I see you're have a strong love for boat anchors there on your website. It's a beautiful set of Halicrafters you have there. And I usually run LMAX AF68. A lot of guys are using LMAX on the net. They're just good all around AM rigs. They don't take up a lot of room on the desk, I suppose. Anyway, it's let's see, 40 degrees, and we just had on the average around 4 to 5 inches of rain in the region up here in the area, and everybody's pretty waterlogged. I had one tree fall over just from fatigue, I guess. The water ate a ditch around it, and that was a big 100-foot pine tree. We ought to see it. Glad it fell away from me. And Muir, your Kenwood Marine thing sounds good on sideband as it should, and it's right on frequency. Um, and of course, Tony, I guess you're on your 7851, and Boone's on his little what is that? A Yaesu 891, I think it is. So we're just kind of finishing up here on Lee's power supply. I've been working on the 1070 LMAC power supply for Lee, and I got the filter choke in yesterday. It's a toroid type, and it fit perfectly inside the cabinet with no room left. And boy, it cleaned it up. So I got a switch on it now that I can flip the switch in the middle. It's a double pole center off switch. So in the middle it's off. If I switch it to the right, it's got the filter in line, and that gives it nice smooth DC, but the voltage drops considerably and you get less power output, which is perfect for an amplifier. And if you switch the other way, it just shorts the filter choke across it, and it's just the way it would normally be from the factory with a little bit of hum and full output. There you go. WF2. Let's see if anybody else is here. Anybody else want to check in? N4LQ. All right, go ahead, Mir. WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, very good. N4LQ and the group WF2U. Yeah, okay, everybody's good here. Copying pretty well, and signals are strong. There is one glitch with this thing here, that there should be a little bar graph for signal strength and also transmit from 1 to 10. Obviously, it's like from 10% to 100% for transmit, and it's not lighting up. It's not doing anything. The numbers are there, but there is no bar graph. I'll have to open it up and see. Maybe it's just like a connector that is not making contact with the LCD panel, because everything else is displaying normal except for that. So that's my feeling, but it doesn't bother me at this point at all, because I can see it on the SWR meter that it's transmitting. So I'm not worried about it, and then I can hear everybody. That's all that counts. It's not a bad bargain for something like $220 plus like $20 shipping. All these marine transceivers are like, they're getting rid of it because it does not correspond with the latest ITU requirements and the interfacing it with GPS and all that. So it's just plain radio. And they're getting rid of it like in tons. You can find them really cheap, and with minimum work, you can make them work on all the handbands and all phones. So it's not bad. It really sounds just as good as the ICOM marine transceiver that I use. It's right on my other side here, other side of the desk. Talking about boat anchors, I did my weightlifting exercise and pulled out the DX100B out of the cabinet, and just eyeballed everything with a flashlight, make sure that everything is lit up there, and nothing looks burned, nothing looks damaged and everything, except for that half amp slow blow fuse that was blown, so that's why I didn't get high voltage. I have drive and grid current and everything, except I don't have high voltage. I found, unfortunately, the half amp, because I thought that let's put it this way. I made a mistake. I have a box full of various fuses in their little boxes, the little containers, 5 in one container. And then I pulled one out that said half amp, and I'm looking at it. It looks a little bit short. It's the same thickness as the regular quarter-inch one. And I said that might be like a little bit of a confusing visual. So I put it in the fuse holder, and I'm turning the high voltage on and nothing. So I started to put the meter on everything, and it's not making contact inside the fuse holder, and I don't have the. Then I compared it with the original. It's somewhat shorter. I never saw a fuse like that. It's not the small European fuses, but it's like the same diameter as the big Bussmann fuses, and but it's just shorter. I don't know what the heck that is. So tomorrow I have to go probably to Lowe's or something and pick up. I know I checked; they should have it, and then I'm sure the X100B will be on the air Sunday. And the receiver that hooked up to it is the National NC300. I checked it out; it's working fine. So all I have to do is get the fuse going, and the DX100 will be on the air. So with that, it goes to Tony. Yeah, Tony, you have a pretty good signal there too. K4QE, this is WFW.
All right, thank you, Mayor, and very good and all that. I've been having all kinds of fun today, and last night. That's why I was missing last night. I got a call from work, and next thing I know, I was on until about midnight last night. And I got woken up again at 6:30 this morning, and I've been working up until, well, about an hour ago. So, anyway, so sorry for me. But anyway, lots of good stuff happened today, got lots of stuff fixed, and boss is happy, so I'm happy. And other than that, I'm just preparing for tomorrow night's another winter weather hit. We lost a tree out front during the last storm, and the strange part is how it fell. But we have a number of things in our front yard. There's a little Buddha statue. There's a wooden swing set. There's a gazebo, and the tree fell precisely between all of those things, such that none of them got hit. Unbelievable, but that's the way it happened. So the wife is thankful that none of her stuff got destroyed. And hopefully we won't lose any more trees in the next storm, but we shall see. Because I got a heck of a lot of trees on my property. I have a 12 acre spread here, and out of that 12 acres, about 9 of it is treed. So whenever there's a storm like this, it's always we're always waiting to see what's going to happen. Fortunately, nothing has fallen on the house yet, or my car. My wife's car's in the house, so hers is okay. Hey, you guys know how that is. Anyway, over to you, Boone. WA4EDK, K4QE.
K4QE in the group. QU, I'm sorry. I have to get this right. Sorry, Tony. But it sounds like the perfect storm, almost a perfect whirl there where the tree falls amongst things. I wish I'd been that lucky last time around here. It didn't hurt anything except the power line. And took me forever to get the service entrance back to the house restored. Fortunately, I had a generator capable of pulling most of the load in the house, and by living in the Gulf Coast hurricane belt, I had everything set up to use the generator. Just a couple of signal reports. Mirror, you're hitting 10 to 15 over. Tony, you're hitting 15 to 20. Steve, you're out somewhere in the stratosphere. I think I saw 30, 40 one time there. Plenty of signal. Still having trouble copying W1LBY, but I'm still working at it. Trying to process through the noise reduction, and will continue to do so. Not too much going on here. I reset an antenna today that the last, not this past windstorm, but the one before that, modified for me, and got it back up to height and going. My 80 through 10 half wave. By the way, I am using a 160 half wave in-fed cut for 160 in an inverted L configuration with the corner about 55 feet in the air. So there's that. And yes, Steve, it is an FT891. Quite a versatile little transceiver when you put a pan adapter on it using SCR Play Pro 2 receiver. Makes a good combo. I bought it for a mobile, but it's worked out real well. And with that, I'm going to send it back to Steve. N4LQ, WA4EVK.
Okay. Yeah, real good there. Tony's call is actually QE. I think you had it right the first time. Quick, easy. W1RBY. Are you still able to copy down there, Wilby? Go ahead. Hello, Wilby. Well, we seem to be having technical difficulties with Wilby. I guess he's left, but anyway, if you're hearing us out there, thanks for coming by anyway. And I'll go ahead and take you off the list. Got anybody else that wants to check in? Call now, please.
A very confused W4JPL.
W4JPL. What are you so confused about, sir? This is very simple. Didn't you get the memo? Go ahead.
Apparently not. I was just wondering why everybody was on Slop Bucket. I turned this thing on and said, that's the funniest sounding AM I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's the way it is sometimes. I did send out an email to the list to, let's see, 3 different mail lists. I tried anyway, but I was talking to Boone today, and he wanted me to switch to sideband, so I'm going to blame this whole thing on him. No, actually, there was at least one other guy at the Old Friends Luncheon that said, you guys want to switch back to sideband, and last night we had such a mess with, it takes a lot of power to survive on this band, period, especially when there's a lot of static. And then when you switch to AM and you do away with your amplifier and you're only running about 40 watts or 100 watts or whatever, you're just, it's not going to be easy. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes like this. It's a little rough trying to do the recordings, but I guess it's working out okay. I tell you, I'm trying to live stream this thing, and let me be sure that I still am. I tell you, it's confusing. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm trying to feed the video in off the SDR, which is connected to the 7610, So it's running HD SDR, and that actually connects directly to the 7610 by the USB. It shows up as a radio, actually, as an SDR radio, so there's no other receiver involved. It's kind of nice that ICOM got together with HD SDR to pull this off. But the only problem is when I transmit, it mutes the audio, and there's no way to live stream it unless I use another microphone that picks up the speaker from the 7610, which has my monitor playing through that. Boy, that really gets to be complicated. So we'll just have to see how this goes. So Tony, go ahead and take it. K4QE and 4LQ.
I think it goes to Mir next.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mir.
Yeah, okay. And 4LQ and the group WFTU. Yeah. Tony, you're pretty strong here. The S meter is not not displaying here. Let's see, and welcome, John. Better later than never. And yeah, I guess even thanks, Boone, for the report. I guess even 150 watts can hack it tonight. Especially on single sidebed. But actually, in technical terms, strictly technical terms, not ham speech or just like what people usually call it, this mode is also AM because it's basically you're getting the signal is amplitude modulated by the amplitude of your speech, except originally it was called AM with suppressed carrier and single sideband, or on single sideband. Actually, the original abbreviation was SSSC. Single sideband suppressed carrier AM. Yeah, so we went a little bit simpler than that, but definitely much less noise prone, and I'm sure I heard some. I actually checked on AM before I got on the air, and it's a little noisy, but not as bad as last night, actually. So, Tony, you'll pick it up. K4QE, this is WFTU.
All right, thank you, Mir. And good evening to John. Good to hear you tonight. And yes, you need to pay more attention to your email there, old buddy. Anyway, good to hear you on here tonight. And I was thinking of how there was something I wanted to tell you, and I didn't write it down. I forgot what it was already. Darn it. Anyway, you're obviously the strongest one here tonight, John. All being only 4.5 miles away, that's the way it is. Oh, geez, I can't remember what it was. I'm going to send it over to Boone, WA4EVK, K4QE.
K4QE and the group, WA4EVK. Tony, I'll get your call right. Good to hear John. I tried it a couple of times on AM previous sessions and just could not copy. It's quite an advantage on the putting all that power in the narrowest bandwidth. Steve, I guess you got my message today about RME. Electro Voice bought them right after World War II. Didn't know that before Jerry straightened me out at the Berryville Ham Fest a couple years ago when he bought a bunch of RME gear. Some guy pulled up with an enclosed trailer and it was just packed with old, I believe it's 69 receivers and 4,300 receivers, speakers and all that from RME. And I think Jerry tried to buy everything, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him tonight to find out if he's got a speaker for Dave up there. And I actually have a 160 amp I need to drag out and see if I can get a little boost out of it. It will work sideband, but like I told you, the dissipation is so low on it, I wouldn't dare try to run it on AM. Old sweep tube amp. That's about it on my end. So I'm going to send it back up to you, Steve. N4LQ, WA4EBK.
All right, let's get it over to John before he goes away or something. W4JPL, N4LQ.
Okay. Excuse me. N4LQ in a group. W4JPL. Fine business. Well, another busy day doing stuff to the house, but I did go out to a nice meal with Miss Maggie. We went to Texas Roadhouse, had a nice dinner there. And other than that, just took the trash to the dump and did some more work on the house. So that seems to be the theme of my life right now. Got the shack cleaned up real nice. I can actually see where everything is. It kind of frightens me. So that's what's going on. N4LQ, W4JPL.
Well, that's enough. Okay, well, this is N4LQ, sitting here amongst all this confusion. Too much software and hardware going on, and I don't think my transmissions are being live streamed. I think everything else is, but yours truly, and I'm not sure why, but it's complicated. I didn't have time to work all this out before the net, and I'm the one that sent the email out. I should have had plenty of time. It just hit me that this wasn't going to be that easy. So Electro Voice, yeah, I think Al Khan, the guy that started Tech, was I think he was the head dude at Electro Voice. I don't know if he actually was part owner or what his position was there, but he came down to Tennessee and started Tech, and I guess he quit his Electro Voice holdings and took over Tech. Him and the other guy, Jack, whatever he was, Burnett or Burchett or something. Anyway, so RME, yeah. I'm trying to think. It was the last RME wasn't that like a 5100 or a 50? It's 5000 series, I believe. The last one I remember, and I think their stuff was pretty nice. Really, I liked the big dials. The 4300 dial tended to be a little slippish sometimes, and I had one of those for a while, and it seems like others I have seen have had problems with dial slippage for some reason. It was one of those concentric knob type things. Well, fine on the tree there, Tony, and it's good that it missed your stuff. Um, I've got a fence around the back part of the lot here, and it's 6 feet high, chain link fence, and it attracts trees that are falling. And let's see, since we've been here over a period of 5 years, 4 times it's been smashed by trees. As long as they keep smashing things back there, I'm okay. They're mostly 100-foot pine trees, and I guess there may be a half acre of no, not half acre, maybe a quarter of an acre here that has grass, and the rest of it is all just pure trees, and they're pretty dense. So sometimes they fall and hit the other tree and get caught, which is okay. I can live with that all right. This one that fell last week was in the woods, and we just had a lot of water coming under the road, and it empties into our yard. It's about 250 feet away from the house, but the water ran down the steep hill and around the tree and just routed a nice big ditch around it, and the tree just didn't know what else to do but fall over. So away it went, and it landed very nicely, and it's just waiting for me to get over there and saw. I'm going to leave it lay there. I'm just going to saw enough of it so that it's laying flat on the ground, and that'll help stop some of that erosion. So Mir, DX100 NC300 combo, I guess, is coming soon, and we'll see it on the Old Friends Net. Did you say maybe Sunday? I think I heard you say that. WF2U N4LQ.
Yeah, N4LQ and the group WFU. Okay, since you're having problems or difficulties recording it and doing the live YouTube thing, it's not live, but just in case you don't do a good job doing it because of your hardware issues. I'm just going to video this round. Actually, I started started the sequence here, and I'll record everybody just in this round, and then I'll upload it to. Let's see. Yeah, I'll upload it to my cloud storage, and then I'll send the link. If everybody is on the 160 Piedmont or the Piedmont 160 group, then I can send it to everybody just through the server. If not, I'll have to distribute it in another way, but your email address and Boone's, I don't know everybody else's. So anyway, yeah, tomorrow I have to go and procure an MDL. It's called the MDL. That's the flow plug. An MDL FM fuse, actually more, and put it in, and I should be okay. Because there is absolutely nothing, no signs of any damage. Well, of course, that's why that happened when I lost message my old Carolina Winter antenna at a storm, and I didn't realize that the antenna missing until I started against it. Anyway, so that is good. But fully protected everything else. So with that, it goes to it goes to Tony.
All right, thank you, Mir. I had a little bit of trouble hearing you. You went into a fade there, but
So and the group here, this is WFU.
okay, Mir, thank you. Yeah, you went into a fade on me, and so I doubled with you for just a tiny bit there at the end. But anyway, yeah, I don't have much else to say here, so I'm gonna just keep it rolling here and pass it over to Boone. WA4EVK from K4QE.
K4QE, WA4EVK. Not too much here tonight. I just kind of got so many projects, I don't know which way to go with them, but, I'll figure something out and have more to talk about later. Mir, are you by chance turning away from your microphone? Because you'll do a fade, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look like it's an RF fade. It looks like maybe low audio, but perfectly copy most of the time. And John, I apologize. I will send it up that way. You've got a great signal in here tonight. You're 10 over. I tried copying you a few times on the AM versions and wasn't too successful. But tonight you're booming in here with 10 over. So W4JPL to take it. WA4EVK.
Okay, WA4EVK. And the group, W4JPL, fine business. I just found an interesting ad here on Marketplace. Johnson 500, Johnson Valiant 2, Hammerlin 180A, Hammerlin 145A, NC 183D, something else in National, NC 300. The only problem is the guy's up by Buffalo, New York. That's a little bit more than I'm willing to drive. So over to you, Steve. N4LQ, W4JPL.
Oh, quick, let's get in the car and go. W4JPL, N4LQ. Well, I have to confess that I got on Marketplace this afternoon and somebody had a D104 Silver Eagle. What is it? It's a special model. One of the last ones, kind of fancy. It's got the I want to call it Roger beep, but it's got a switch you can throw. It turns on a beep when you let off the mic. But it's got a bunch of other features, and it looks pretty good. And they're going for pretty good money. And he asked 125, and that's a pretty good price for that one. He says it works. So it's up in Conover. So Conover is just about an hour away from me, just straight north. So I'm going to head up there in the morning. So John and Boone, I don't know about Boone, but in the morning, JPL, you'll probably be on the net, and I don't know if I'll make it or not, because I got to be up there around 9 o'clock or so. So I need to get out here by about 8. And go up there and get the stupid microphone, which I stupidly bought. But, it's something that I needed. I'm using a D104 right now, and I don't know what it sounds like compared to the hand mic. The last time I tried, they said the hand mic sounded better, and maybe it'd be a good thing to try here. While we're all here, you can give me an opinion. Let me just get the hand mic right here. And by the way, Mir, I am recording this, no problem. It's just that my own audio, myself, when I talk, it's not going out. Hang on just a second here and let me plug this in. All right, so this is the hand mic, and it came with the rig. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a little, what is it? A HM219, and usually sounds pretty good, but it seemed to be a little bassier, and I think the D104 seemed to be louder, just a little bit more articulate, I guess. So, what's your opinion? WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, N4LQ, WF2U. Yeah, this one is a little bassier, but I think that it's simply just because of the voice spectrum distribution. It seems like the D104 or whatever test mic you were using has better mid-range, and that's the penetrating part. That gives you the sense that it's a little bit louder. But this way it's a little bit more spread spectrum, so to speak, and probably the because of bass here, it has the sense as if it was not loud, as loud as the other one. Of course, if you go and measure the RF output, you can really check if you have a peak hold feature in a power meter or something. Then you can see and compare the two. But anyway, so by the way, this transceiver, this Kenwood, did not come with the original Kenwood mic. Believe it or not, it's a Radio Shack mic. Looks very similar to what the original should be, also with an up and down button. So I have another test mic, a 500-ohm test mic, another Electro Voice. I'm going to, now I have enough plugs, I'm going to wire it to this Kenwood and see if there is any difference. I can even do a D104 with this. I have several. So, with that, I'll stop recording and I'll pass it on to Tony. Yeah, and all I have to do is just look away from the microphone and look at my notes or something, and then the transmit power goes down. Obviously, the microphone might not be sensitive enough, so I'll definitely try another one. So K4 QE, this is WFW.
Okay, thank you, Mir. Yeah, that was much better copy, 100% that time. So, anyway, yeah, you figured it out. Well, Boone figured it out, and you implemented it, and you did it right. So it sounded good. Yeah, John, I don't know if you, I don't think you were on when I was talking about it, but I had a tree fall in my front yard that fell right smack in between a bunch of stuff that Marianne has out front, and didn't hit a thing, didn't damage anything. So I got lucky. Of course, I have a tree to cut up now, but at least it didn't damage anything on the way down. So we're happy about that. And now we're just gearing up for the next storm. But there you go. I didn't. Oh, for the benefit of all of you, I didn't have any damage at all from the winds in terms of my antennas. Everything stood up nice and straight, and I looked out. The tower was still there. The beam was still on top of it in one piece and not bent over or anything. And all the dipoles were still doing their thing, even the 160 dipole, obviously, since I'm here. So I was very happy about that. Of course, I had a river running through the back of my yard because of all the water that was flowing through my property. But other than that, that was okay. That'll go away eventually. And my car didn't float away either. So I'm happy about that. Over to you, Boone, WA4EVK, K4QE.
K4QE in the group, WA4EVK. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, Mir, I'm thinking maybe that microphone has a very narrow pattern. But it was a great QSO that time, for sure. Tony, every once in a while we get lucky when the trees come down. I got lucky on the last one that missed the house, but it yanked the service entrance off the house. And it took me a little while to get an electrician because it had done a lot of damage around, I'm talking several months ago, maybe a year ago now. And one of the things I found kind of ironic is in South Carolina, the way I understand the electrical code, I'm not allowed to touch anything except a repair under $250. The homeowner is not allowed to do anything and must call a licensed electrician. In some ways, I can understand that, but I spent years designing commercial service entrance equipment and drilling rig electrical equipment, but I'm not allowed to do a repair or get involved on the service entrance. Just one of those things. You got to take it, I guess. And anyway, John, I'm going to let you have it. W4JPL, WA4EVK.
Alrighty. WA4EVK and the group W4JPL. Steve, my boy, I'm going to solve all your problems right here. I don't know if you've ever been there to this particular ham fest. It's outside of Winston-Salem. It's called the Klingman Ham Fest. Now, the Klingman Ham Fest is probably 75 to 80% chicken band and maybe 20-25% ham stuff. But at any given time, you'll find at least 40 or 50 D104s floating around in there, and they're usually not obscenely priced. So, yeah, they have it twice a year. The first one's going to be March 2nd. So if you're looking for D104s, that's the place to go. And then you can look at all the weirdos with their chicken band stuff. I'm going to jump out of here, boys. It's just about pumpkin time. So I've had all the fun I can stand today, and I'm beat to death. So God bless everybody. Have a great evening, and I'll be listening for a little while. Over to you, Steve, W4JPL.
Aww.
Okay, well, I only got one comment on my microphone test, and that was from Mir, and now I got feedback. So let me get you, John, before you leave. Any comments on it? I'm back on the D104, by the way.
I don't hear much of a difference on my end, to be honest with you.
I do.
Yeah, okay, I turned the gain up too. I had to turn the gain up for that hand mic. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, it was better. It's much better now that you turned it down a little bit. You could even stand to turn it down just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's back down to 1 or 2%. That's about as high as I can go. Amazing, isn't it? it's very. It's got too much output. But so, what do you think? You like this better than the hand mic?
It's actually it's a little. It's clear, but it's almost too clear. Like it's really piercing.
Oh, good. Okay, that sounds good. What about you, Boone?
Yeah, very strong audio there. You're right. The hand mic is a bit bassier. I think I prefer the 103 for punch. You're not missing that much bass over.
Yeah, it's got a tone control in it. Actually, it's got a preamp with bass and treble on it that I put in there. I bought it off of eBay. Let me turn it down. That's 1%. And let me bring up my meters. Hello, test. Yeah, that's about right. Kicking up the ALC about where it should. And got full power output with 1% microphone gain. Oh well, really you need to get in there and put a resistor or something to cut this thing back. But let's see. Yeah, I've been to the Klingman Hamfest twice. That's a real dude. It was. I won't be back. It's not worth it. But I think there was maybe 2 hams there that I knew, and they were selling a couple of things, and the rest of it was all CV stuff. So it's not really a ham fest in the true sense of the word. And I don't think they even call it that, do they? But anyway, 73 is to you, John. And sorry to lose you so soon, but that's the way it goes. And I might be able to get on in the morning before I leave. And if you're on, you are. And Tony, I hadn't heard about your wife lately, how she's doing. So you might keep us up to date on that. And I'll turn it over to Mir, WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, again, the D104 is more piercing, so it's not that it's unpleasant or anything, but it has, it has the more, just as I said before, it's more of the, probably a mid-range and a little bit of the high, which makes actually the mid-range gives the most intelligibility. And I learned that while for many years I work with my hearing aids and stuff like that, and even sometimes I do a little bit of fitting the response to whatever I'm listening to, and and I know a little bit from communications when I was designing something that like I did actually part of the C-17 program when we had to design the wireless intercom for between the crew and the loadmaster and the ground crew and everything. So the plane is so big that they didn't want the usual plug-in long cords and stuff like that. So I did part of the synthesize the UHF transceiver, and I worked with a sound engineer that was fitting all kinds of headsets and all that the whole thing will fit in there. So that was interesting. But yeah, so the most intelligibility is in the mid-range actually, not in the highest end and not in the lowest end. So that's where it's concentrated. Then you have more penetrating properties to the voice or to the whatever you hear. Anyway, so that's about it. And tomorrow's rain, that means that Saturday I have to get the tractor and scrape a little bit, scrape the driveway, because my long driveway goes down the hill, and after every rain, especially a heavy rain, I get gullies in there. It's like a dream track for an off-roader. I just have to be careful not to bang the bottom of the car when we go through some of those divots and some of those little gullies. But it's okay. I mean, it's just a pain in the neck to navigate there and be comfortable. So I have probably about an hour and a half work scraping of the evening out the gravel. So with that, 73. John, if you I'll take care and hope your wife is doing better. So, Tony, K4QE, this is WFD.
Let me, I turned the treble down a notch and brought the bass up a notch. And the way this tone control works, it seems to kind of teeter-totter. So maybe that made a difference on this mic. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh yeah, it certainly did. Brought the bass up quite a bit, and more. I should say it sounds more natural. It's not too strong at all. You could actually turn the treble down even a little bit more, but it sounds much better, Steve. And thank you for inquiring about my bride. She is due for surgery this coming Wednesday, so we shall see how that goes. The prognosis, as I stated before, is good, and we're not expecting any issues, but you know how sometimes some things are. So we'll see how it goes. She'll be in there overnight, and she's supposed to come home Thursday, assuming no complications, and I'll have a better report to give you all then. But I appreciate you thinking about her, and I appreciate everyone's prayers. So over to you, Boone, WA4EVK. This is K4QE.
K4QE in the group, WA4EVK. Well, Tony, let's hope there's no complications and things go smooth. I know how that can be. And John, great QSO tonight. Good strong signal all the way. And Steve, I really like the audio now on that thing. I don't think I would do too much to it. It's really got, I don't know whether we ever talk about it, but presence or strength or whatever. Great audio in there. You'd almost think it's plate modulated at this point. My opinion, or as they say in my humble opinion, whatever. I'm going to have to ease out of here. I've got a couple things to do, and don't want the XYL in here looking askance at me, as they say. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and we'll be talking to you Sunday afternoon, probably at the earliest, guys. And with that, I'm going to say 73 after y'all's final. I'll be listening for a while. N4LQ, WA4EVK.
Well, thank you, and appreciate that. I turned the treble down one more notch, so maybe that'll kind of mellow things out a little bit. John, are you still with us? Oh, John left or not? I've lost track. W4JPL.
Yeah, he left us, Steve.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to pay better attention here. All right. So I turned the treble down one more notch, and hopefully I'm in the ballpark now with the old D104. I've heard so many of these things on AM. I just had to try it on sideband, and I think once you get it adjusted right, they sound okay. And I just like using it. I can rest the microphone on my chest and squeeze the chicken choker with my left hand, and it's actually more comfortable than using the hand mic. I've tried boom mics, and I don't like that because I got to set in one place, and I don't like using a foot switch. And this seems to be the best compromise for me anyway. So, Tony, the best of everything to your wife, and we'll be thinking about her. And I hope the Lord takes care of her and watches over her, and everything comes out for His will and purpose. K4QE and 4LQ.
All right, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. I very much. I thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And I like it now with the treble turned down just a hair more. So that sounds great. It sounds really nice and pretty now. Almost as good as AM. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night as well. It's funny. John. John and I go way back. We've known each other for almost 40 years. And we used to hang out with a group of guys on 2 Meter FM way back in the day. There's a whole bunch of us that used to get on there every night. And at the clock's ringing of 9 p.m., John would simply disappear. Wouldn't say goodbye or nothing. He just disappeared. You could set a clock by him. I mean, we had a rapid round. A rapid cue, so, it was push to talk, not a round table kind of thing. And everybody would just chime in, and we were always going back and forth, and everybody made pretty short transmissions, and whenever somebody would call for John, if it was 9 o'clock, boom, he was gone. So, he just, it's old habits by heart, I guess, and he's been doing that all his life. So, he still does that today, even though he's retired. Anyway, love him to death. And I hope you all have a great night. Thanks again for the well wishes, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Over to you, Boone, WA4EVK from K4QE.
I guess Mir's still here. Are you still here, Mir?
I'm still here. I have another 5, 6, even up to 8 minutes before I have
one transmission
and let the dogs out. Anyway, so it sounds good. And good night, Tony. Good night, Tony. And take care, and hope everything goes well. And Boone, good night. If you're still listening. So it's, I guess, let's see. So it's only us. Uh, anyway, yeah, you sound pretty good now, and I'll upload to Dropbox, and then I'll send you the link. I'm not sure whether I can do it tonight. Maybe I'm going to upload. It will take an awful long time because it's just about 10 minutes. And uploads are pretty slow from here. And then I'll send you the link. So back to you. N4LQ, WFTU.
Okay, very good, Mayor. And yeah, I'm just interested in hearing the microphone change toward the end there. So that'll be good to hear. Thanks for doing that, and I look forward to hearing it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clear off here too. So we'll say 73s to Tony, Mayor, and John, who disappears at 9 o'clock. And don't let the door hit you on the way out. We'll see y'all, maybe some of you in the morning. This is N4LQ closing the net officially and clearing out.
Okay, very good. Good night, Steve. Thanks for running it, and take care. I'll be here tomorrow night unless there is thunderstorms in the area. Actually, thunderstorms are expected, so I don't know how far it's going to clear. I don't want to repeat, although, of course, on site bend it would be much easier. A repeat of last night and the night before was really bad. So 73, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow sometime. N4LQ, this is WFTU Clear.
Good night.